Hello everyone, myself Mithra K S, member at Shivi Forensics. Today I came up with a video regarding forensic databases. So let's start our video with a brief introduction regarding these databases. Forensic databases are centralized repositories used by law enforcement, scientists, and digital investigators to store, compare, and analyze physical or digital evidence. They accelerate investigations by matching crime scene data against non reference records. Forensic databases are divided into two main categories. The first one is biometric or physical databases, and the second one is digital forensic databases. So let's start with each of these databases. First one is Integrated Ballistic Identification System or IBIS. It is maintained by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives National Integrated Ballistic Information Network. This forensic database contains bullet and cartridge casings that have been retrieved from crime scenes and test fires of guns found at a crime scene or on a suspect. One limitation of this database is that there must be a suspected gun to make a comparison because this database contains information on bullets and casings and not on specific guns. The second one is Paint Data Query, that is PDQ. It is maintained by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police RCMP. PDQ contains the chemical compositions of paint from most domestic and foreign car manufacturers and the majority of vehicles marketed in North America after 1973. The PDQ software is free to agencies that supply a minimum of 60 paint samples per year. The database information comes from the street, more than 60% from the body shops and junkyards, and from the manufacturers. Next one is National Automotive Paint File. This Federal Bureau Investigation database contains more than 40,000 samples of automotive paint from manufacturers. And this database works by comparing the paint chips from cars. It is compared to the samples in the database. Next one is Glass Evidence Reference Database. This database contains more than 700 glass samples from manufacturers, distributors, and vehicle junkyards. It is housed by the Technical Support Working Group, an interagency group that includes the US Department of State and the US Department of Defense. Although it cannot determine the source of an unknown piece of glass, the database can assess the relative frequency that two glass samples from different sources would have the same elemental profile. Trademark. Trademark is a commercial product that uses four parameters pattern, size, damage and wear to identify individual outsole impressions. These are then compared with the shoeprint data from two sources. First one is suspects in custody and crime scenes. A match could yield the name, date of birth, criminal record number, places of interest, and similar offenses for possible suspects. Soulmate. This commercial database contains information, manufacturer, date of market release, an image of or offset print of the sole, and pictorial images of the uppers for more than 12,000 sports, work, and casual shoes. How does Soulmate works? The pattern of an unidentified shoe print is assigned a set of codes to isolate basic features such as circles, diamonds, zigzags, curves, and blocks. Options with variations are presented pictorially, which allows an investigator to code features that best match the shoe print. These codes form the database search, with results presented in descending order of pattern correlation. Next one is Forensic Information System for Handwriting, FISH, maintained by the US Secret Service. This database enables document examiners to scan and digitize text writing such as threatening correspondence. How does FISH work? A document examiner scans and digitizes an extended body of handwriting, which is then plotted as arithmetic and geometric values. Searches are made on images in the database, producing a list of probable hits. The question writing along with the closest hits are then submitted to the document examination section for confirmation. International Ink Library. The collection, maintained jointly by the US Secret Service and the Internal Revenue Service, includes more than 9,500 inks dating from the 1920s. Every year, pen and ink manufacturers are asked to submit their new ink formulations, which are chemically tested and added to the reference collection. Ignitable Liquids Reference Collections (ILRCs), maintained by the National Center for Forensic Science. This database and associated liquid repository allows a laboratory to isolate an ignitable liquid of interest for inclusion in an in-house reference collection, designed for screening purposes only. It parallels but does not replace American standard testing materials requirements for an in-house reference collection. Next one is Integrated Automated Fingerprint Identification System, IAFIS. This FBI maintained database contains fingerprints acquired after arrest at the city, country, state and federal levels. Fingerprints acquired through background checks for employment, licensing and other non-criminal justice purposes if authorized by state or federal law, and latent prints found at a crime scene. Combined DNA Index System, that is CODIS. This FBI-run database blends forensic science and computer technology into a tool for solving violent crimes. CODIS enables federal, state and local crime labs to exchange and compare DNA profiles electronically, thereby linking crimes to each other and to persons convicted of a crime. CODIS uses two indexes. First one is the convicted of offender index, which contains profiles of persons convicted of a crime. Second one is the forensic index, which contains profiles from crime scene in evidence. So that's all for this video. Hope this is helpful for you. Thank you and have a nice day.